The fall of a star destroyed empires. The touch of a man raised a new land from the sea. When Aroden passed the test to Starstone, the god-to-be created the Isles that would hold what some would call Golorian's greatest city. Hello, I am Joseph, and this is 5 Minute Lore, presented by Crit and Grit Media. Long before the age of lost omens, the Starstone meteor struck, sinking the city of Azlanti, or the Empire of Azlanti, and creating what is now known as the Inner Sea. For those who don't know, Azlanti is the equivalent to modern world's Atlantis. The meteor itself lay dormant beneath the waves for over a millennia, an artifact of immense and unknowing powers. It wasn't until 1 AR that history shifted again. Before he was a god, Aroden was also known by another name, the Last Azlanti, one of the final true heirs of the shattered empire of Azlant. When the Starstone meteor fell and drowned his people, Aroden survived, carrying forward fragments of their knowledge and power to the scattered survivors of the age. He became what was known as a living symbol to Azlant's lost glory, and possibly humanity's chance to rise again. In the time that followed the destruction of his homeland, Aroden devoted himself to rebuilding civilization. He was said to have rediscovered lost magics, to have taught mortals the secrets of forging, steel, and even in mythology is known to have crafted the first longsword, a weapon that became a mark of honor all across Golorian. More than a wizard or warrior, he was a visionary who believed humanity was destined for greatness. So, when he sought out the Starstone, it wasn't for selfish ambition alone. To Aroden, that fallen star was a cause of his people's destruction and maybe the key to their redemption. If he could master it, if he could prove that a mortal could rise to divinity, then humanity itself might claim a new destiny. When he entered the Starstone chamber, walking willingly into the trial, no one could predict. What challenges he faced inside still to this day remain a mystery, for the test changes for every soul who dares it. But when he emerged, Aroden was no longer mortal. He became a god, a champion of humanity, innovation, and the future. As one of his first divine acts, he raised the earth itself from the depths of the sea, forming what would become known as the Isle of Kortos around the Starstone itself. At its heart, he founded Absalom, what became known as the city at the center of the world, a beacon of mortal ambition and a moment of triumph. Aroden did not raise just a single island. His divine act created what was known as the Starstone Isles, with Kortos as the largest and most central. The Isle of Kortos became a land of contrasts. At its center, Absalom thrived as a jewel of trade, culture, and faith. But beyond the walls of the city sprawled untamed wilderness. The Kortos Mountains loomed over the interior, filled with ancient ruins, marauding beasts, and hidden cults. To the north, the east stretch of Karnlands, a desolate expanse littered with magical siege engines and broken fortresses, each a scar from centuries of wars fought to claim Absalom. Even the seas around the isle remain treacherous. The jagged reefs of the flotsam graveyard are choked with wrecked ships, while pirates, sea serpents, and worse stalk the waves. The smaller isles ring Kortos like shattered fragments, many uncharted and full of mystery. Some whisper they hold lost Azlanti ruins. Others say they are layers of monsters best left undisturbed. The Starstone Isles are far more than the city at the center of the world. They are a frontier, a battlefield, and a divine monument all in one. Aroden's ascension in 1 AR marked the beginning of the calendar that is still used across Golorian today, known as the Absalom Reckoning. From that moment forward, the Starstone Isles became the heartbeat of history itself. Absalom grew into the greatest city in the world, not only because it harbors trade, but because it guards the Starstone citadel. The test of the Starstone still waits, daring mortals to prove themselves worthy. Only three more has ever succeeded. Caden Caleen, the drunken hero, Norgarber, the masked god of secrets, and Iomade, the inheritor, who was once Aroden's own mortal champion. But in the age of lost omens, the Isle carries new weight. Aroden is dead, prophecy itself has failed, and the gods remain silent on what comes next. Absalom stands at the center of trade, faith, and politics, yet beyond its walls, the Isle of Kortos and its neighbors still echo with danger and forgotten secrets. The Starstone Isles are not just the heart of civilization. They are a constant reminder that divinity is never as far away as it seems. Born out of catastrophe, raised by a god, the Starstone Isles remain the beating heart of Golorion. From Absalom's shining harbor to the haunted Karnlands and the shattered seas beyond. Every stone, every wave carries the weight of history. The Starstone destroyed empires, but yet it raised a god, and to this day it still whispers the promise of godhood to any who would dare step into the cathedral. Would you take the gamble? Would you chance being whisked away into nothingness for failing? If you enjoyed this dive into Glorion's lore, don't forget to like and subscribe and check back every week for more 5-minute lore into Glorion. There is always more legends waiting. As I said before, I'm Joseph. This is a presentation of Crit and Grit Media. And again, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. We got multiple types of content coming out every week. We got some actual plays showing up in the future. So stay tuned.